Welcome back to Sports Days right here on Captain TV Studios. Of course, I have a special guest with me today. He is a Real Madrid fan and a very big sports lover, if I might call him. He's none other than my friend Terry. Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Days.
Good afternoon, JRS.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Okay, I'm good. I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here too.
All right. Well, let's not forget the phone lines are on the screen. Please call us and give us your take on the subject today. Now, between CAICEDO and Mason Mount, who would you rather have in your club? Let me ask you that question, Terry. Would you rather have a Moses Caicedo or Mason Mount?
Yeah, personally, I have my own preference, but then, personal preference when you're buying a player is not really the main thing. The major thing is that the kind of players that you want to buy and then what the team actually needs. For instance, as Chelsea right now, they lost N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
So they need a defensive midfielder. We all know that Mason Mount is not a defensive midfielder, he's an attack-minded player. So right now for Chelsea, the player that they need to complement that team right now is Moses Caicedo. He's very good, very young, athletic, very good on the ball. Do you understand? He's someone that's is actually a very good one. So for me, as a Chelsea, if I'm the Chelsea board or maybe the Chelsea coach, I'll actually insist on buying Caicedo and selling Mason Mount.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I like Mason Mount and I would want Mason Mount to
definitely. That is why I said that you need to do away with your personal feelings, your personal likeness for a particular person. It's based on what the person can be able to contribute to the team. That is what you
so Mount might just be on his way to Manchester United.
Yeah.
And it's a problem for me because why are we selling all our players to the enemy? I keep asking this question.
Not all your players. Okay.
We're giving Kovacic to Manchester City.
Yeah.
We're giving Kai Havertz to Arsenal. And also we gave Jorginho to Arsenal.
Don't forget that you sold 4 players to Saudi.
But I can understand teams. For the Saudi, the Saudi league.
Yeah.
It's very fast, not even in Europe. But this one is your close rival.
I understand just that the statement that you made that you guys are selling all your players to the enemy. They are selling the players to the enemies though, but not all the players. Okay. For instance, if any team that wants to succeed, if you actually want to succeed, most especially in a very competitive league like the Premier League, you should never say your best players. You should never say any player that you know that can be able to contribute enormously way to the other team that is a direct competitor to you. You should not be able to do that. That's the reason why Tottenham always try as much as possible to not sell their good player or their best players to their direct rivals, because it comes back to haunt you.
Definitely.
It definitely comes back to haunt you. So I don't really understand. I've always been saying it that the present Chelsea board, I don't really understand. It's like they don't really know how the business of football goes. They don't really know how the business of football operates. But let's just give them a slack. They're trying to offload. Last season they bought a lot of players. It didn't work out, and now they're trying to offload so that they can be able to balance the book in terms of financial fair play. But it's not a good one for them to sell some players. Everybody knows the kind of experience that Kovacic has. Very, very experienced, and going to a team that is already good as Manchester City. Man, I don't see the effect is going to be very bad. But Chelsea need to offload. So
no, Chelsea obviously need to offload. We have to let go of the past so we can, build something.
And one of the things is that when you want to sell players, the players have a say about where they want to go.
Okay.
For instance, if your player say that they want to go to Man City, and you say you don't want to sell them to Man City, it will become a problem.
Okay.
The players also decide where they will go, apart from even the money that is being offered to the clubs. The players also decide. So it's a very delicate situation for Chelsea, but they've already done it. So let's just hope that it does not come back to backfire. Does not come back to
I think he might definitely come back to haunt us tomorrow.
He might.
Because I've seen over time when you sell a particular player to the rival club, he scores a goal. He makes it a point of contact that I must score against Chelsea.
Those players always want to prove a point that, look, I'm this good. You made a mistake to sell me. If you remember the case of Emmanuel Adebayo.
I remember
scoring against Arsenal, I think, and they're running all the way from one end.
I think that was so petty of him today.
It was not. Do you understand? You need to understand the intentions behind it. So
after that, what happened?
Intentions. Well, he never had a very good career.
Okay.
Yeah, he never really had a very good career. But then he actually proved a point that, look, I was this good. Had it been you guys kept me around, I would have offered a lot to this particular club.
All right.
So it was their loss. As of that time, he was good.
I mean, I think the only player I would say Chelsea made a mistake with, in my opinion, I would say it today and I would say it ever, is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
How about Salah?
I think Salah too, but you can't compare it to Kevin De Bruyne. I think Kevin De Bruyne was a very big mistake from Chelsea.
But one thing that I think you showed me something on IG some days ago about players, about club side,
Yeah.
Club side missing out on certain players because they never really saw how good they might be in the future. As a big club, I don't think there's any big European club that has not made that mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can happen to any club.
Oh, sure.
There are some players that they are very, very good, but at a particular point in time, their potentials will not come out. So it takes patience. And for a team like Chelsea that always need results, it's very, very difficult for them to be able to have that kind of patience and give players that time for them to be able to develop into the world-class players that they need to.
So what you're saying is, what's his name? De Bruyne, even at the time he did, was the best for him.
Definitely, it was the best for him. It was the best for him because had it been he was still in Chelsea, I don't think he would have developed this kind of player that he is today.
I want to agree.
But then one of the things that most clubs are doing right now is that they buy a player and they send the player on loan. And apart from that, some even sell the player but with a buyback clause.
Okay.
So that they can be able to avoid these mistakes because it happens a lot. It happens a lot. I remember anytime that Samuel Eto'o scored Real Madrid, you always be celebrating. He came from the Real Madrid Academy and Madrid sold him off.
It's possible.
So, who are you? As of the time they sold him, they didn't have a need for him. And he was not, they never ever envisioned that this guy would turn out to be the great player that he is. Okay. So there's not any big team that has not made that mistake.
All right, so Chelsea is not the only team.
No, it's not.
Well, speaking of players moving, Man City's captain, Ilkay Gundogan, has moved to Barcelona. Yeah. I mean, what a beautiful career he has had with Pep Guardiola.
Definitely.
In Man City.
I think, 6 years?
7 seasons with the club.
7 seasons with Man City.
60 goals.
Yeah.
302 appearances, 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, 2 FA Cup and 4 EFL titles.
Definitely. His time in England was a success. And one thing I always like it when players succeed in a particular league to that level. It's always, there's nothing to motivate you again. So it's always better for you to move and go to.
And let's not also forget he was the very first player that was signed by
I think you had when he moved
to Manchester City.
You told me that it's a good one. It's a good one. They've come a long way from the Bundesliga playing against each other, and then they crossed over to Man City in England, and they did a very good job together. They won a lot of trophies, but every journey must come to an end, and that particular episode of his life has been closed. A new chapter has been opened in the La Liga, and I just hope that Barca can be able to to be able to register him. It's not about signing. You can sign players, you understand, sign them, but registering them based on their current economic issues. Now, I just hope that they will be able to register him.
All right, let's talk about Jackson, the new signing for Chelsea, and I'm sure they made that signing for him to replace Kai Havertz. Now, we had a conversation earlier, and I told you I don't know him.
Definitely.
But I know
lots of people does not know.
Yeah, I don't know about his potential.
I don't really know much about him too.
But I know he's Senegalese. Yeah. He's an attacking forward. He's 22 years old. He was, very crucial for Villarreal last season. And now Chelsea wants him to fill a void. You think he's a good replacement for Kai Havertz?
Well, he's very young. That is just what I can be able to say. Once you buy a young player like that with potentials, hopefully he can be able to turn out good for you. But the Chelsea team right now, do they actually need that kind of player? Most especially after signing Nkunku.
Okay.
After signing Nkunku and knowing that you've not been able to offload Lukaku.
Okay.
So bringing in a very young guy, another plus to it is that they can actually be able to send him on loan if there is no space for him to play. Mind you, Chelsea still have a lot of attacking-minded players. Yeah, a lot of attacking-minded players.
No, if you were the coach of Chelsea, how would you play all these players?
There are many. That is why they are trying to offload a lot of them. They are trying to offload so many players. But let's just see how it goes. But I don't think that guy can be able to fit into the Chelsea team right now. Maybe they might likely loan him out. But you never can tell.
I think Chelsea has a need for him. I'm sure that's why they are.
Where exactly is he going to play? Is he going to?
I mean, he can also play as a false 9. You never know.
Can he keep Nkunku on the bench? I don't think there's not anybody in that Chelsea team that can be able to keep Nkunku on the bench.
Is Nkunku that good?
Very, very good. How many seasons in Bundesliga, and you can see how well he played, the number of goals he scored. Last season, he was one of the joint top scorers in the Bundesliga after coming back from injury for that long. Having the kind of issues that he had.
That means Chelsea are on course for the domestic treble.
Yeah. See, I told you earlier that this season, without any European competition, most times, any season that Chelsea fails to qualify for the Champions League or any European competition, the following season they usually do well. So let's just see. Hopefully, they will be able to do well because there won't be much pressure on them this season. You know, the pressure of the Champions League is always very, very high. And the other one is that they didn't even qualify for the Europa League, which has much more stress. It's more stressful. It has a lot of matches, even more than the Champions League. So concentrating on the league, FA Cup, you know, it's possible that they should be able to dominate all these 3 competitions. But don't forget that Man City, they defeated champions.
Man City might lose. I don't know how Man City does. I keep asking this question. Nobody has given the answer I'm looking for. How did they lose Aguero? Like, they will lose a player like Aguero, and they are good. And they replace him immediately with Haaland, who is exceptional. You lose him, and they've lost Gundogan, obviously. Before you know it, they have a better replacement for him. Like, how do they do that? They do that so well. And it's something that I admire them for. And I wish Chelsea can, you know, kind of emulate that pattern.
The first thing you can do is that you need to have the economic power. If you have the economic power, you can be able to build a very good team.
Chelsea has that.
Yeah, they have. Then secondly, you need to have a very, very good coach.
Okay.
You need to have a very good coach that has this winning mentality, a coach that does not want to lose. He does not want to lose.
Okay.
Then when you have that kind of coach, you need to back the person, let the person know that the coach will definitely bring his own system, the kind of system that he knows that can be able to give him result. And then you, as the management, you need to back that coach up. If the coach say, okay, I want player A, you should not go and give him player B. Give him that player A. If player A turns out not to be available, then ask the coach should be able to look for another person that can be able to fill that void, not the management buying players and then imposing them on the coach to play them. Okay. You should be able to give the manager of the team every support that he needs for him to be able to succeed. And the another thing is that you need to, you know, give that coach a long-term project.
All right. Give
him a long-term deal, because consistency matters. You need to bring a coach. You need to allow your coach to like stay for long so that he can be able to bring his ideas. You know, one thing you need to remember is that the first season that Guardiola came to Premiership, he didn't win any club, any competition. He didn't win any cup. He won trophyless throughout that season. He won trophy because he was still trying to like get his art, right? Trying to like get the kind of players that can be able to play the kind of system that he wants. But then from the second season till now, everybody can see. So it's not just about getting coach. If you get a particular coach that has the vision and knows that, no, losing is not my thing. I need to win. I need to continue winning. It's not just winning and then continue winning. You can see how Man City behave. They will win. They'll go into a particular season, beat everybody, win the competition. The following season, they will still beef their team. They will still bring in a lot of players that can still be able, that players that are still hungry. Okay. That is the only way you can be able to maintain being at the top, because it's not just about being at the top. A lot of teams have been there. You know, a certain Leicester City.
Okay, so you talked about giving the manager 100% freedom. I don't think Chelsea can do that with more.
That is the issue.
And that's the problem.
It's a very big problem.
It's if they give Pochettino, you know what, be free, do whatever you want to do, Chelsea will get it right.
That is always the major problem. And that is even one of the major reasons why PSG has always been a local champion team.
All right.
Yeah, they've not been able to get it right in Europe.
And I'm happy Messi has left them.
Yeah, definitely. That club does not deserve those kind of players. It does not deserve them, because when you have a certain a management, you know, that wants to like control everything, it's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. And then how can you be sacking coaches every year? Every year you're sacking coach. There need to be continuity. These guys need to stay here for long so that they can be able to like,
and this brings me back to Kylian Mbappe. I feel like after this season, that's if they manage to keep him this season. Okay. I don't think he will still be in PSG next season.
No, definitely. It's either they say him now or he leaves next season for free.
Oh.
Yeah, he said that the same.
And I don't think they want to sell him now.
No, they actually want to cash out on him because remember that if he stays till next season, they will have to pay him royalty bonus of 150 million euros.
Oof, okay.
On top of that, they will still lose him for free.
But
if they can be able to cash in on him right now, they will not be able to like pay that 150 million euros. At the same time, they will still make money. So it's a win-win situation for them to cash in on him right now. Oh. Do you understand?
And cashing in on him right now, they might want to sell him for 200 million?
Yeah, definitely. That is what
I think Real Madrid might pay that money.
Yeah, Real Madrid might pay that money, but if I were Perez, I'll just play a waiting game. I'll not go for it. I'll risk it. I'll not go for it right now because I know that towards the end of the transfer season, they'll be begging to even sell him for even 100 million euros because if that guy end up not leaving, it's going to be a problem. And it's a big loss. Yeah, it will be a very big. So it's better for them to say, even if it's just 100 million euros, let them just say him so that they will avoid paying that 150 million euros that they will pay at the end of next season. Okay, it makes sense. Well, let's talk a bit about Nigeria. Our home football. Now, the NFF president is afraid to make a decision on Jose Peseiro, and of course this is coming from ex-Super Eagles star Udeze. He believes that the NFF president asking people to, he created a poll where people can, Yeah, I saw that on Saturday. Yes. Why would you do that? You're the president. Make a decision. I also partook in it, and I commented on one particular post on Instagram. Okay. A particular blog, sport blog. I said that it's even a very shameful thing that I even asking people about their opinion. I mean, in the first place, we said it on this show. Well, I don't know how many times we have discussed about this thing on this show. We've mentioned that this guy does not even deserve to even coach the Nigerian Super Eagles team. He does not even deserve to even coach our under 28. He does not deserve it because how can you go and get a coach that has a very, very poor winning percentage and you bring him to a country like Nigeria? Like that, that we don't joke with. Something I wonder, is it because he's just white? Like, okay, let's just say we have a white coach. It's not about having a white coach. Because I don't understand, they pay him more. They pay him way more than they pay the likes of Kashi. And the black coaches that is the problem. That is the problem. I always say that any country, there is no way you can be able to grow when you are bringing outsiders. You need to bring Nigerian coaches. We have very good coaches. These guys are even the ones that knows our systems. They know the Nigerian system. They live here. They've lived here for so many years. They know most of all these African countries. And before you can go to the World Cup, you need to play qualifiers. And the qualifiers you are going to play, you're not playing it against European teams. You are playing it against African teams. Sure. And if you don't have a Nigerian coach, how exactly are you going to know the terrain? How are you going to know everything about this? Most of all these Nigerian coaches, they played for the Super Eagles. They played against Ghana, played against Cote d'Ivoire, played against most of all these stuff. And they understand the game better. They understand it better. You cannot get it right when you are going to go and bring somebody outside. Okay, if the person is even good, it's understandable. But you are going to bring someone that is not even up to an average coach. I cannot even call him he's an amateur. The only thing about him is the fact that he's Portuguese. And I think that's why they give him so much respect. You don't do that. And the problem I have with the NFF, the IMC, all the Nigeria footballing board, they put together, the problem I have with them is they value the white people more than our own people. That is right. And now, if you let's say because I was talking to Josh earlier today, and I asked him, I said, okay, who do you think is fit for that role? Because he talked about the 1994 squad. Let's look for players from there, the likes of Amunike. He talked about Amunike. You have good players. And I'm like, even if they bring in the likes of Amunike or even Olise, I feel like Nigeria, they have this problem. Because he's Nigeria, they can decide to owe him. It's not decide to owe him. They have been, it's just like a custom. Okay. They will decide to pay you a very low amount of money. No, that one is obviously they pay lower. But they will still owe you. Yeah, they pay lower, and on top of it, they will still be owing you. And you might even sign a certain kind of contract that you cannot even be able to come out and even mention that NFF is owing you. So and it's very bad. I always continue saying it that if the NFF does not get its act right, if Nigerian football body in general does not get its act right, there is no way our teams can be able to go out there and succeed. Okay. They can't get it. They can't get it right. When the whole body behind the whole system is not right, there is no way they can be able to get it right. Before the last NFA presidential election, we had a debate that was organized by Swan.
So we have a call. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Gist. Oh, we lost that call.
Okay. So before the last NFA elections, we went for a particular debate that was organized by Swan in Abuja here. You can see that. You can see people, the candidates that showed up for the debate. You can see the kind of ideas that they have for Nigeria. They have for Nigerian football. But at the end of it, these guys will not even stand a chance or even winning.
Yeah.
I was part of those people that was campaigning that we should not have someone that was in the past.
Sorry, we have hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports Gist.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What is your name and where are you calling us from? Okay, we lost that one too.
So I was part of those people that was campaigning that we should not have a new president that was part and parcel of the past administration that failed woefully. And at the end of the day, it was still someone from it was still someone that was part of the past administration that still emerged as the president.
No, what's
going to get?
You know, the Nigerian problem is so much that sometimes when you start talking about it, you get emotional.
Definitely.
Now, last week, Ladan Bosso was accused of collecting money to field in players for the just concluded Under-20 African Cup of Nations and Under-20 World Cup. He denied it.
He was accused by who?
He was accused by a sports journalist.
Okay.
He denied it. Yeah. Now, just this morning, I got a news. Now the Remo Stars, they lost 3-0 during on Friday. Now, after the 3-0 loss to the 3SC, I beg your pardon. After the 3-0 loss to Remo Stars, report says that 3SC players are being sent messages via their WhatsApp platform to exit the club. Okay. Now, this is not the first time it's been allegedly reported that 3SC terminates contract via SMS. We'll speak on this and more later. But then, what are your thoughts? Does this come as a surprise to you?
First of all, let me start with the alleged news that Ladan Bosso collected money. It's not, if you have been following Nigerian football, you know that it's a common occurrence. It's something that happens a lot. That is why most times you will have players that you yourself, you look at them, you be like, man, even my mom can be able to play better than these guys. And when you go on the street, you see very, very good players, that can go out there and deliver.
I mean, I've had instances where people be like, there's this particular guy we grew up with. During the time we
I know
he was unstoppable.
I know many of them.
Make it pro.
He could not.
And part of the allegation, they are saying these managers, you ask them for too much money just to play them, and when you cannot afford it, they take the ones that have brought.
It happens to me. I went for Shane Bank talent show that was being organized. I think Okocha was the one that was leading the team of people that were taking the players. I went for it. We had only like 15 minutes to play, and inside that 15 minutes, even me as a player, there were certain players that I saw. I was like, damn, this guy deserve to go. Like when I saw them play, like there was even a guy that he only played for 5 minutes. They removed him. That please don't play again. We had very, very good players, but guess what? Even that guy that was removed, he was not even included in the final list of players that were picked.
Oh wow!
From our zone, that was the Northwest zone. From the Northwest zone that time, he was not even picked. So you go where you see more than 1,000 players come for a particular scouting competition, and you will see obviously, even as a player, you see some players that are good in such a way that will be like, man, I do not even deserve to be here, because you see very, very good, talented players.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, these guys will not pick them. Why? Because
they don't have enough money.
What they are doing is just camouflage. They've already picked the kind of players that they want.
But the way they come out to deny all this allegation is something that I find really.
They deny now. Are you expecting them to come out?
So what does the NFF or the IMC do to hold them accountable?
There's nothing they can do, because they are also part of the system.
Why?
If not the main, they are actually the main protagonist of the whole situation. If they've not been doing that, no coach will have the mind to go and do it. It's because top NFA people bring so and say player that use this guy, use this one, because they've collected bribe from a lot of people.
Wow.
If they don't do that, there is no way they have the mind.
I mean, like, no, Nigerian football should, they just last month they were talking about the fact that they want the NPFL to be as good at that as the EPL.
It's not a rocket
How
science.
do we get there?
See, it's not a rocket science, do you understand? It might not really get to the level of MPFL, but at least we have a certain league, like the North African leagues, North African country, all these North African countries. Their league is...
Or we can even, or maybe the South African.
Yeah, definitely. I was
can
even getting
start
to
from
that. The South African league actually buy players from even Brazil. If you go there, you see a lot of Brazilian players coming from all the way from Brazil with the level of their league coming all the way from South America to come and play for in South African leagues. We have Nigerians going there.
Well,
do you understand?
I'm sure if we continue talking about the Nigerian sport, we are not going to live today. But our time is fast spent. Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, our amazing viewers, callers, everyone behind the scene work together to make the show a success. I am Dearest Mba. Let's do this again, same time, same station tomorrow. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.